Welcome to Collecting Chaos and part two of my video where I'm evaluating the condition of some classics illustrated. If you didn't watch part one, you might want to go back and watch it. If you watched it already and you want to see the second part, well, just stay tuned. Keep watching. I'll be back after the intro. Okay, I decided it'd be a good idea to turn the light on. This camera's pretty good about lighting, but and I'm going to roll my sleeves up a little bit. Not much, just a little tiny bit. Now there's a few things that I need in order to evaluate comics. I need one of these. That's a writing pen, in case you've never seen one before, because this is the computer age. And I need something ancient called writing paper. Some of you may not be familiar with this. But this is what I take notes on, and I need to take notes so that when I go to put it in my database, I can remember what I was thinking. Now, before I started, earlier today, I went ahead and took some spine rolls out of 4 of the comics. This one. And this one had a minor spine roll, but it still had one. This one, and again, it wasn't a major spine roll. This one, and this one had a pretty bad spine roll. And of course now it doesn't. And this one was curled up really bad. So yeah, the spine rolls are gone out of it, and yeah. Get my knife so I can fold this back over. I will not be doing repairs to these, at least not anytime soon, and probably not at all, because I do eventually plan on selling them. And if I'm planning on selling them, the most I ever want to do is take out the spine roll. Okay, the first thing I need to do, I want to find out what it is. Of course, it's Classics Illustrated, so I'm just going to write that up at the top of the page. Classics Ill. And this is number 21. 3 Famous Mysteries. And all of this information will go on the little label I make to go on the Mylars. Here's where the problem comes in. There's no date on it. I know the original was published in the 40s. I also know that this is not an original. How do I know it's not an original? It says number 21. On the back it says 62 for the high HRN number. So I'm going to need to know the HRN number, which is the last number on the order form. And to find that out, I need to go get my price guide. So I will be right back. And I'm back. Now I'm using the newest price guide. I could use any price guide that I own because these comics are that old. And of course, but I have this one marked already as to the Classics Illustrated. So we go to number 21. And we go down here to the HRN number. 62, and it's a 4th edition. It does not give me a date, however, but we do know it's a 4th edition. So HRN of 62, 4th edition. And I will do this for every single comic. Now in this one, in the 4th edition, unlike the first 3, and actually it's the first 5 because there was a 1A, a 1B, a 1C. And you guys thought variant covers were new. But this one's still, it's still kind of pricey. But 8 pages were deleted with this edition. Okay, now the first note I'm going to write down, remove spine roll, because I believe in honesty. Now the back is dirty, the front's kind of dirty, but it looks good. So we want to see if the pages are, the staples are good, the staples are tight, cover is tight. It's got a few problems, but I think this would definitely fit very good to fine, no problem at all. That's what I'm going to mark it down as. You can have minor wear, minor creases, and that's what this would be considered, would be a minor crease. Same thing with this. I have a cheat sheet up in front of me. Minor staining and soiling. You know, it's got soiling on the back. I could probably remove a lot of that, but I don't want to. At least not at this time. Go back to my book. Yeah, it doesn't give a date on any of them. But if I find out when, if I've got like a number 61 and I can find out when that was printed, or anything right in that area, I can figure out the year that this was published. So that's one of the things that I'll be looking for. And like I said, I'm going to write it down as VG Define. Overstreet, just so you know, Overstreet lists this edition in very good Define. At about $45. I paid nowhere near that. Looks really nice though. So that's the first one. Next one, number 42. And this is the Swiss Family Robinson. Got some damage on the spine here, but the staple is way down here and way here, and there's no rust on the staples. They appear to be good. It's got some spots on the inside. And the centerfold is detached. That means the highest grade this could receive would be a good plus. So it's actually a low grade copy. And you know what? Let's check the HRN number. And it'll either be on the front cover, the back cover, or the back inside cover. This is also number 60. This is also an HRN of 62. It's in nice shape aside from the loose centerfold, which I will write down as centerfold. And yes, I did notice that when I was removing the spine roll, pressing the spine roll out, but I wanted to discover it here for you. And we're going to say that's it's actually, I would rate it good plus, because it's in nice shape aside from that spine roll. Next we have Deer Slayer 17. The bottom staple is detached. Centerfold's nice and tight. It does have some tears up here on the inside. And I'm assuming all the pages are creamed, cream to tan, although some of them are better than that. And this is number 60, HRN of 60. Which means the first two are newer than this one. These two were published after this one. Makes sense, this is number 17, this is 21 and 42, right? I'm going to put this one down as got a chunk out of the page. Half-inch triangle missing, or quarter-inch square. Yeah, this would also be low grade. I'm going to put this one down as good. Next up, 20 years after, number 41. It looks like it's detached, but it's not. It is attached. The cover is completely attached. The centerfold is attached. Pager yellowing. Got some spots on it. It's got a stain here. It's dirty, definitely dirty. But I'm still going to mark it down as a, I'm thinking a VG minus maybe. with an HRN of 62. Now we're getting into the ones that I did not do anything to. I did not press any of the others that I'm going to show you today. This is number 31, Black Arrow. Cover's loose but not detached. These are actually in pretty good shape considering their age, which I'm thinking is 50s or 60s. The centerfold is attached. It's tight. Centerfold is tight. And the HRN number is 51. So what does that mean to us? That means that this comic is older than the number 17. I need to go back and I need to go back and put the print numbers or the edition numbers on these 4 that I've already done, or these 5 that I've already done. I'll be right back. And I'm back and slightly caught up. Here's Prince and the Pauper number 29. Now we know this is a later edition because it has a 15-cent price tag. The Classics Illustrated originally were 10 cents. Number 29. HRN of 71. Somebody put a 15-cent sticker over it. But I suspect that was done by the publisher. And this one is a fourth edition. Now real quick, how am I going to figure out what the date on these are? I'm going to show you right now. This has an HRN of 71. So if we go to number 71, that was published in 1950. That means this Prince and the Pauper comic is from 1950. If we go to number 62, that was published in 1949. That means all these ones that are edition 62 or HRN of 62 are from 1959. The one that's number 60, or that has an HRN of 60, that's also 1949. 1949, not 1959. And that's how I can use the HRN numbers to determine the age of the comic. HRN of 51 for Black Arrow. That was published in 1948. So, condition. This is in really nice shape. This is probably one of the nicest looking Classics Illustrated that I got. The staples are discolored, but there's no rust on them. They just turned black with time. I'm going to... Corners are fairly square. Cover's tight. Centerfold, if I can find it. I actually like the art in these also. People don't like to admit that these are oh man. There's a torn page that's folded over. And it is the centerfold that happened to. But it's tight on the staples, so I think I could probably press that and it would be fine. Or just close it properly and it would still probably be fine. But there goes my delusion of this maybe being a fine copy. I'm gonna put it at very good to fine. So I basically dropped it two grades for something I found on the inside. And that's why you have to look through comics. Number 28. Michael Strogoff. HRN of 51. And we already determined that that's from 1948. Cover is attached, but loose. Centerfold is tight. Everything appears to be there. What a wonderful smell these have. It's not an acidy smell. It's just, it's the smell of old newsprint is what it is. A very good plus, I think. And the edition number... Did I take my... I did. I took my marker out of here. That's okay. Doesn't take me long to find the pages I want. And that happens. The more you use a price guide, the easier it is to find stuff. It's a second edition. And in a very good plus, that would be right around 50 bucks. Of course, finding somebody to pay that is a whole nother story. Just because something Just because the Overstreet Guide says it's worth something doesn't mean you'll be able to get that for it. This one has a slight spine roll. I might go ahead and correct that. I might clean this one up a little bit too. This is a Frankenstein. And this is number 26. HRN 60. Yeah, that's not good. That makes it a 3rd edition. I think this one could easily go. Does have a minor crease. It's a pretty long crease, but and it does break color, but it's not that bad. No spine splits. Centerfold is tight. It has an indicia. Hang on. Oh, okay. Not all of them have that. Of course, it's showing December 1945 because that's when it was originally printed. Obviously, this one is not 60. I think we determined that was 1949. Technically, this is a Golden Age comic. By the new standards, which are saying everything from Action Comics #1 to Showcase #4 is Golden Age, this would be a Golden Age book. If you call this a Golden Age comic, people will go ballistic. Because it's a Classics Illustrated, so how can it be Golden Age? Beats me. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do with the rest of these. I'll have another video and the other stack of mid-grade. I'll have another video going over the low-grade comics. And I think that'll be it. I just think we're going to do 3. If you want to see me do more of them, by all means, let me know in the comments down below, and I will most certainly make a 4th video of extend it to 4 videos instead of just 3. If you want, I'll extend it to 5, 6, 7, 8, however many I need to do, so you can see me grade each individual comic. But I still need to assign a grade to this, and this is just such a pretty copy. I'm going to say fine. It's just, I think it is. I think it would very easily get a rating of 5. So what does that do as far as the value? Well, it is a 3rd print, so we're looking at about $50. I think I am going to straighten this out though, because that bothers me. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. Put it in the comments if you want me to continue on with this and not grade anymore until the next video. And if you just want me to skip and go straight to the low grade so you can see how I grade those, that's fine. When I grade a comic, I take into... I can't describe everything I see. I look at the corners. I look at the edge. I look at any creases. I look at the page quality. This page quality is overall good. It's not beautiful, but it's good. And the pages are nice and supple. That's one of the reasons why you see me do this. I check to see if the staples are tight. I take off for dirt. If this wasn't so dirty, it might be fine plus. If it wasn't cockeyed and dirty, and as far as, you know, once I remove that little bit of a roll it has, if this was clean, I could see this getting a fine to very fine rating. I will not rate it that way, but I could see it getting it very easily. So anyway, make sure before you handle your comics, you wash your hands. It's good for your comics. It's good for your health. And we'll see you next video. Bye.